What's going on, everybody? Monday Night Football doubleheader in the books, and I gotta say, maybe these doubleheaders are a good thing because 2 weeks in a row now, the early game has sucked, and the second game has been pretty awesome. Welcome into Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. We're going to react to both Seahawks, Lions, and Dolphins, Titans. A lot of storylines coming out of both these games. Lions just finishing off. Pretty fun shootout between Jared Goff and Geno Smith. I'll have a reaction to that. But first, we are almost at 3,000 subscribers here on Verts. 47 away. Appreciate all the new subscribers from our video earlier today, our Chiefs trade targets video for potential wide receiver options out there. If you haven't gone to watch that video, be sure to check it out. But if you haven't already, subscribe. We bring you the latest big NFL storylines, my reaction to big games, news that's out there, like when Rashee Rice gets hurt, gets injured, opinion pieces, and a whole lot more. We also cover college football, so if you're interested in any of that for free, subscribe and turn on those notifications. All right. Detroit improves to 3-1. Seattle falls to 3-1 after the Lions just finish off a 42-29 win. And when I say Jared Goff played perfect, as a passer, he absolutely did. 18 for 18, 292 yards, 2 touchdowns. Somehow that's not a perfect passer rating. It was 155.8. A perfect passer rating is 158.3. I don't know what else he had to do, but he was spectacular. And this Lions offense, really for the first time all season, played a complete 60 minutes. The only mistake they made was when they got a little greedy just outside the 2-minute warning. Troy Aikman was talking about it on the broadcast, saying, hey, they're going to have a free play here. They can throw if they want to because the clock's going to stop at the 2-minute warning regardless. And Goff ends up taking a safety. He couldn't get out of the end zone. But other than that, they were flawless. I mean, you score 42 points in an NFL game against a 3-0 Seattle team. That's a pretty damn impressive showing. Geno Smith was good as well. He threw a pick late in the end zone, but he's trying to make something happen, down 2 scores. 395, a touchdown and a pick. I think Seattle answered some questions tonight in the sense of they may not be like a high-level contender, but their 3-0 start wasn't just a direct result of a weak schedule. I mean, they came to play tonight, and they gave Detroit everything they could handle. It's just Goff and the Lions were flawless, and Seattle made a couple of critical mistakes. That was really the difference in the game. Neither defense really showed tons of resistance in this one, but it feels like the Lions are starting to hit their stride. They played really good in the first half last week at Arizona, put up 42 points here tonight, balanced attack, and that's the thing. As perfect as Goff was, he only threw it 18 times, and if you're Dan Campbell tonight going to sleep, you're like, yeah, that's how I want to play. I want to be physical running the football, and then Jared Goff can go be Jared Goff. Accurate and decisive with the football. Jahmyr Gibbs rushed for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns on 14 carries. David Montgomery, 40 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's what they want to be. They want to run the football behind their powerful offensive line, and then Jared Goff can be a distributor of the football. And he caught a touchdown tonight. Cool little trick play where Amon-Ra St. Brown ended up with the ball, flipped it back on a wheel route to the quarterback on the left side. The Seahawks kind of defended it pretty well, and St. Brown dropped a dime. I actually saw a tweet out there. I think John Middlecoff tweeted this out, that St. Brown could start for the Dolphins at quarterback right now, which I thought was pretty funny. We'll get to Miami in a second. They're an absolute mess, but Detroit is starting to feel like the top level contender we thought they were going to be coming into this season. This is a team I picked to represent the NFC, and we'll see if that happens. Obviously, we've got a long way to go, but they get to 3-1. Seattle falls to 3-1. It feels like the Lions are a notch above the Seahawks in terms of the pecking order in the NFC. But you think about the NFC right now. You got the Vikings at 4-0, one of 2 unbeatens remaining. Chiefs in the AFC are 4-0. Lions are 3-1. Seahawks are 3-1. Washington is 3-1. Just pull this up real quick. And then you got a lot of 2-2 teams in the NFC right now. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone at that 3-1 mark. Tampa's also 3-1. But then you've got Atlanta, New Orleans, San Francisco, Green Bay, Chicago, Dallas, and Philly, all 2-2. And then the Giants, Panthers, Rams, and Cardinals all at 1-3. I think the Rams are just so beat up right now. I think they're better than the other teams on that list. But you're kind of starting to see a little bit of separation. A couple of teams rising to the top, a lot of teams bunched in the middle, and, you get to the week 4, week 5 point of the season, you can kind of start to have a feel for who seems real, who doesn't, at least at this point in the year. Things certainly can change. And, I think the formula for Detroit, like I said, offensively, Jameson Williams had a 60-plus yard touchdown tonight, caught a deep crosser and just turned on the Jets, turned the corner. And that's why I was so intrigued by them this year, is because the only thing they were really missing from last year was a consistent deep threat, a burner. J-Mo got healthy late in the year, but hadn't really yet put it all together, and now it looks like he has. You got St. Brown as your possession guy. You got Laporta as your tight end. You've got Williams as your speedster. You got a damn good offensive line. You've got 2 really good running backs. You have a veteran quarterback in Jared Goff, and you have a great play caller in Ben Johnson. This is a complete offense for Detroit. And if Jared Goff is kept clean and making good decisions, he can play like a top 8 quarterback in the NFL. And at times a top 5 quarterback. And with all the pieces around him, that's all they really need. The question will continue to be, is their defense good enough? They made plays when they had to tonight, but can they be a team that creates more turnovers? Can they be a team that, if there's some bad weather, that you can rely on your defense in a big game in January? It's been a little hit and miss for the last couple of years. I think hit and miss to start this season, but if your offense is playing like this, you're going to be tough to beat because this is a top 5 offense in football. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So feel good about both teams. I think if you're Mike McDaniel, 3-1 start, you feel okay about how you played tonight. Obviously, you wish the defense was better, but Seattle's lacking in some personnel areas defensively up to this point. They're going to have to add as the years go on, but Seattle looks like a playoff team. I think they'll be in the mix for the wild card. I still like San Francisco in that division, but those two play each other in a couple of weeks, so that'll be a big game. All right, let's shift over to the other game, the earlier game, and this is just unwatchable. I'm sorry. And it's not the NFL's fault because when they schedule these games, you don't know who's going to play, who's not. And obviously with Tua out, the Dolphins have major issues, but Tennessee is also kind of a tough watch. Their defense is good. They're fun to watch. They can run the ball a little bit, but Will Levis is terrible, threw another awful pick tonight. Ends up leaving with a shoulder injury. Mason Rudolph comes in and, quite frankly, didn't do much better, but he at least took care of the football. But 9 of 17, 85 yards. The Titans clearly felt like they could win this game with defense, and they did, 31-12. Snoop Huntley started for Miami. They brought him in a week and a half ago. 14 of 22 for 96 yards. He ran in a touchdown, but it's kind of what he does. Dink and dunk, he'll run around a little bit, but he's got major limitations. And I just watched this game, and I get it. You don't have Tua, but you're facing a Will Levis, Mason Rudolph situation, and you kind of get your ass kicked at home if you're Mike McDaniel to fall to 1-3. Tennessee's first win of the year, by the way. Like, Mike McDaniel is kind of entering the, could this guy be on the hot seat soon status? And now, the Tua injury will probably save him, but Tua aside, what meaningful game has this guy won? In big games, he's basically over. I get his offenses, in theory, are supposed to be creative and fun, but they get into these short yardage spots, 3rd and 4th and 1, they don't know what to do. They try to play finesse ball and run like jet sweeps and get on the edge. Just get in a power formation and run it up the gut. Like, I just, these coaches overthink these things so often. And, every once in a while, an Andy Reid will get cute on the goal line or in the red zone or something. And, Chiefs fans will get annoyed. And it's like, well, that's Andy Reid. Like, he's earned the benefit of the doubt to try some different things. Like, Mike McDaniel hasn't. He's never won a playoff game. He hasn't really won a high leverage game. And you're struggling to score points. You don't need to get cute. Like, it's just, I watch them, and they don't seem serious to me. And this is with or without Tua. Without Tua, they got no shot. With him, they're at least competitive. I get that, but do you trust a McDaniel-Tua combo in a big game? I don't. I don't see how you possibly could. So the Dolphins feel fraudulent to me, and if they have a really rough season, I could see McDaniel potentially being on the hot seat and fired. And they're just in a tricky spot because you've got this Tua concussion thing. You don't know what that's going to mean long term. You've got a head coach that, seems cool. Players seem to like him, but is he that good? I'm not sure. And you got a lot of expensive players. You just paid Tua a ton of money. Tyreek Hill is a very high-paid wide receiver. You paid Jalen Waddle. Teron Armstead cost you a lot. You've got some expensive defensive guys. So I just wonder, could this get so bad? And if they're unsure about Tua's future, could they trade some guys and blow this thing up? I don't know. Chris Greer, I think, leaves a lot to be desired as a general manager. And, when they started this rebuild thing, are they in a better spot now than they were 2-3 years ago? I'd say not, because they have a high-paid quarterback who has concussion injury issues, and when he's healthy, you still don't believe in him to win a big game. So I don't like the vibe of the Dolphins. Big win for Tennessee. Will Levis had let them down a couple of times now. They could easily be 3-1. Their defense has played very good all year long. Did so again tonight. So they get on the board, and there is now only one winless team left, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars, as they are 0-4. So 2 unbeatens left, Chiefs and Vikings. One winless team left. The Jags, Titans get on the board. Bengals got on the board with their first win of the year this weekend, and that means 29 of 32 teams are between 1 and 3 wins. So a lot of teams bunched in the middle right now. We will see, who starts to separate themselves in this next month of football. But I think I'm going to do a video either tomorrow or later this week. I'll do my rapid reaction video tomorrow like I have been doing. So be sure to subscribe and check that out. Help us get to 3,000 subscribers. But I think I'm going to do kind of a early season NFL hot seat update, like which coaches that kind of entered the season on the hot seat, what's their status, and I'll come up with a couple of different categories, so be on the lookout for that. So if you want more NFL, want more college football coverage, we are the channel for you. Be sure to like and subscribe, drop a comment below. Let me know this on the way out. Which coach in the NFL's hot seat is the hottest right now? I think it has to be Doug Peterson, but I think Nick Sirianni, things in Philly could get weird. Mike McDaniel, Matt Eberflus, big win for him and the Bears, so maybe that calms things down a little bit in Chicago. But there's a lot of teams and coaches I'm keeping an eye on 1 month into the season, and I will certainly do a video around just that. All right, my name is Harrison Graham. Thanks for tuning in here on a Monday night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.